Okay.
All right.
All right, welcome back to the Survivor Conquest podcast. Unfortunately, we are a day late. We had some scheduling conflicts, but that's okay because we got some amazing content to discuss because we got a double boot.
Yeah, we do.
We got two people voted out, even though we called it. We said those two people were gonna go home last week because we thought it was pretty predictable, and it was. So I guess I guess I should introduce myself for those of you who don't already know. I'm Isaiah.
Thousands of viewers. Our, our
Okay, is he
viewers,
is he
hundreds,
frozen
if
for you
not
too?
thousands of
Yeah,
viewers.
he
Oh,
is. He is. He's frozen for me too.
Okay, you guys froze for me as well. Sorry. I'm at my girlfriend's and
Oh,
she's terrible
see,
Wi-Fi.
this is it's
It's a
it's
ter
off to a bad start
it's an
already.
awful
I
environment.
know.
Yeah. Anyway, so this is Victor.
That's
He
me.
is technically a two-time Conquest podcast guest. However, the last time he was on, it was for season 47, episode 6, and somebody, Isaiah, did not bother to upload the episode. So, for all
They
of the thousands of viewers, this is your intro to Victor, but he's a very kindly gentleman.
they hated the episode so much they're like, we're not doing it anymore. The rest of the
Yeah,
season,
we
we're done.
we
I
did
don't even
actually. That's the last
remember
47 episode.
what was the episode. Was it the Annika boot?
No, the Annika Boo was the
No,
last one we uploaded.
um,
So who went after Annika? That was Mergatory.
no, it
Oh,
was
it was Rome, I
it
Oh,
think.
Rome.
wasn't.
That was a good
No, no,
episode.
no.
I
It was
know it
whenever
was.
Saul gave the advantage to Rachel, and she
Oh,
Oh,
left
it's
the
Tiana.
tribal
Kendra, was that her
council.
name?
What?
Huh.
Tiana.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tiana. She's not
Okay,
very
never mind. So a
memorable, to be
really
honest.
boring episode.
But this episode, like I said, even though it was kind of predictable, I thought it was better than the Zach Brown episode, although that's probably not saying much because
Was
I didn't think
I
that was good.
I was fine with the Zach Brown. Okay, I will say this. In the week following, so that Zach Brown episode has become the lowest rated episode in Survivor history, even lower than like some of the awful episodes from season 39, or even just some of the episodes from some of the truly god-awful, really boring seasons of Survivor, which is just like, listen, Zach Brown, he bothered to show up. You can't say the same thing for Billie Eilish.
It's a
Yeah,
pretty
did
harsh
I need to
rating.
yeah, did I don't know. It's in like the 5 out of 10 range. It's like
I think
on what IMDb or
I
something.
am, yeah.
But
I think
IMDb.
that's a little blown out. Like there are some
it
pretty
is, but it's just a
bad
bunch of
episodes of
people.
Survivor, and remove the Zach Brown thing, and it's pretty solid. I mean, good
It
strategy,
is.
good vote out. I don't know,
It is. So I
not
mean,
deserved.
well, we could start off with this. Victor, we're a few episodes in now, so give us your thoughts. How are you feeling about season 50 so
I think
far?
it's great. It's been needed. We needed some returnees. I'm getting sick of the whole like the three tribes thing, which we started three tribes here, but it was a little bigger, so it was more tolerable. Um, Good to see the old players back, and I'm really enjoying it so far. I'm gutted though about the boot. Are we just gonna say who it is? Like,
Yeah,
Yeah, we could just
we
talk
jump right in.
about it.
There's no
Yeah, we
spoilers here. No
okay, I
go
one's
mean,
straight
watching
into
this
it.
before
my
watching the
my boy
episode.
Charlie is out, and I'm so sad. I'm very
Yeah,
sad about
Charlie.
that.
Charlie
I'm
was
also
Isaiah's
sad.
winner pick.
Yeah, I'm also
Yeah.
sad about that.
Like,
Yeah, he was my winner
I had a
pick.
feeling it would be him. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I had a feeling it would be Charlie, and I kind of gaslit myself into believing it was Rizzo throughout the episode. It was pretty cut and dry, honestly. It's unfortunate, very robbed.
Definitely. I will say for me at least this episode, yeah, it felt a little predictable to me. I kind of saw where the wind was blowing, but I still enjoyed it. I do feel like for me, I'm still loving the season. Objectively, it's probably the best Survivor we've gotten in years, but I do think that new returnee season smell has kind of worn off from the excitement I was feeling in episode like 1 and 2. So now it's just this was a really solid episode. I'm still loving seeing all these players back, but the new season smell has worn off a little bit. So this was just kind of a generic-ish episode of Survivor, but still plenty to enjoy. And I think this this spotlighted some good moments for some players that I'm pretty happy to see. But what are your guys' thoughts in general? Isaiah, what would you think?
It was nice to see Coach. I mean, Coach has always been Coach, but he's back to doing his little knighting or whatever, giving everybody the names and whatnot. Which honestly, like, I can't tell if no, I feel like Joe's genuine, but I couldn't tell if like Colby was like actually like into it, like, wow, like
Okay,
thank
see,
you,
I will
Coach, or
say if you
whatever, or he was just
watched,
saying that
I
just to,
was like,
make coach happy.
Yeah, I
Agreed.
was glued. I was glued to Colby's face during that entire thing, and he would just look like fully, what the hell is going on? Like, I appreciate like Colby's there, like he's playing the game, which I love for him this season. Like he's really putting his best foot forward. Like he keeps saying full tilt, which apparently full tilt for Colby and for a lot of these guys is just finding all the other guys and then working with them, which is
Throwing
not
out.
revolutionary, but for
Rizzo
Colby,
doesn't
like
do
it's a
that.
good step forward strategically. But I appreciated that he's there for the experience a lot of the time, and so he at the end of the day, he's not going to scream at coach like that's stupid. Why would you do that? He'll just let it wash over him, which is good for Colby. I've been very impressed with Colby this season. But yeah, I will say this: loved coach this episode, and I think I talked a little bit with Isaiah about this. Before we started recording, but my general thoughts is that I do see some development from Coach. It's obvious he is still largely the same old coach, but at the same time, Coach is just a kooky guy, but I think there is development from him here as a player. He seems smarter as a player enough, and at the same time, he is still the same old coach character wise. And that doesn't translate to being the best player, but I do think there is development for him there. And as somebody who loves Coach, he's the person I was the most excited to see on this season. He has been delivering for me, and I'm so happy to see a little development from him as a player.
I mean, I think he's a solid player, to be honest. He ran South Pacific like a cult. And I watched that season before he aired. And I mean, he did very well. And now he's at the center of this tribe. I just I think his problem is he doesn't own up to the moves he makes. So I mean, he can play as well as he can, but he just I think he's too afraid to admit that he breaks his own moral compass sometimes. And it costs him, man. But Coach is great. I love Coach.
I think
Love him.
the thing with Coach is, and this is my interpretation, my understanding of Coach is that I think in his mind, he is 100% truthful to his own code. It's just that that code, I think subconsciously by him gets rewritten to fit what he wants to do. So where he is loyal to somebody, he can subconsciously rewrite the code to where he doesn't trust this person anymore. But one thing I will say is that that moment with Joe, where he said, I'm locking in now, I will go to the end with you. I fully believe Coach believes it, and I think Coach would want to go to the end. Whether or not that could be rewritten or something happens where maybe Joe says something that annoys Coach, and then that causes his idea of honor and integrity to be rewritten, where Joe is not what I thought he was. Therefore, it's okay for me to break that trust with him because clearly
Yep.
that trust was never actually real. That's the vibe I get from Coach. I think he fully believes it, which character wise is great because that's what brings the entertainment with Coach. It's not just an act, it's actually him. And that's what I can appreciate. And that's my understanding of Coach.
So everyone's the hero of their own story, right? And
Yeah.
I think with Coach, it's even more so that like he can justify anything for any reason just because he's the hero of his own story. I don't know how to explain it well, but anything to him is honorable if he does it, right? It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
No, that makes sense, unfortunately. But yeah, so
I was
that
gonna
whole
say
scene.
I think
Go ahead.
Coach is gonna stick with Joe because not because he's gonna be honorable and whatever, but I mean I kind of like talked about this. Joe is not playing very well this season. I
Hey,
think
listen, I
he's going
like
to be
having
a
Joe on
zero
this
vote
season.
finalist, at least based on what we see so
Probably.
far.
Two times
That's
in a
that.
row.
I would not be surprised if that's where Joe ends up. I will say, at least from if I just got 48 Joe back as how he was edited there and how he handled his game there, boring. Hate it. For the hot mess Joe is trying to acclimate to this group of gamers, love it. I think Joe is the most justified person from 48 to be on this cast. Just as I think he's been a lot of fun in his messiness. And I appreciate having that kind of boulder that all of these players that are used to the lying and the scheming. And yeah, like they trust some people, but they're at the end of the day, everyone's trying to out scheme each other. And then they just hit this rock, and that is Joe. And I appreciate seeing that dynamic, especially on a season with all of these really big names.
Joe is someone you play around. It's like maybe it's hard to play with. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do
Exactly.
we
Well, that's
strategize around Joe?
yeah,
He's
that's
not
what we've
gonna,
seen a lot.
yeah, he's not gonna get super intense like strategically, but he can kind of bark and get his way, I guess.
Okay, wait.
And
One thing I do have to ask Victor. We have had a lot of opinions on a particular.
No, I think I know what
oh,
he's
Oh,
gonna say though. Are you gonna talk
there it
yeah.
about?
goes.
Sorry. Yeah,
Are you gonna
sorry.
talk about
Yeah,
who I
you
think you're gonna
guys.
talk
For
about?
me, you guys cut out, but I hopefully the recording is just me cutting out. Anyway, I
It
was just gonna
is.
say
It
that
is.
we
I
have had a
think.
lot of opinions on one player, mostly erring on the side of hating them. I'm curious what your thoughts on Aubrey are this season.
See, I want to be an Aubry fan, but I'm not. You know,
Yes.
All of our
like
guests hate Aubry. I don't know why. I think Aubrey's okay. Like she's
I
not
don't
like, oh
hate
my
her. It's
God,
just
Aubrey's the
like
best Survivor player, but I don't think she's that bad.
I think she got robbed and co-wronged like pretty badly. I think Aubry should have won, but that's just me. And she did solid in Game Changers too, but I don't know. Something hasn't really ever clicked for me
Well,
with Aubry.
yeah. Well,
And
what's curious to me, sorry, what's
you're good.
curious to me is that I like generically, Aubrey is in the rootable position. She's on the bottom, unconnected, but I'm rooting for Genevieve all the way.
Me too.
Genevieve is my winner pick, admittedly, but even still, like Aubrey just is not coming across to me as particularly likable. She's very deadpan, like very gamer, but in a like I'm frustrated the game's not going my way, and then like I don't know. Like I talked with Isaiah about this as well, since we did have some time between filming and the actual episodes airing. One thing that kind of strikes out my rubric for what makes a genuinely good Survivor player is if you run a season of Survivor Simulation 100 times with a random cast, and then this one player is put on the cast as a newbie every single time, or sometimes as a returnee, however you want to justify it. How often does that player win? And I think Aubrey probably does not win very often. I think a player like Parvati, who is just an absolute legend, I think you run a simulation of 100 seasons randomized every single time, Parvati can win a good chunk of them. I think some kind of the same way for a lot of the winners where they just seem like they could reliably get far. Kyle this season obviously
Oh,
got
Kyle
medevac,
for
but he
sure.
seems like somebody that I think could win Survivor. If you run a simulation, Kyle could win a season like 20 times out of 100. That's a really good ratio. Aubry, she has the capacity for it, but I see her winning maybe 2 or 3 times for every 100 seasons played, just because she has the skills, she has the competence, but not reliably.
You know, I've got a bad feeling that she's going to go far, like really far.
Well,
Um,
yeah,
Yeah,
but
I
we'll
don't like
see.
it.
yeah, no, we talked about it because the whole rivalry between Genevieve and Aubrey, it seems like people, on the podcast, and I guess you guys want Genevieve to prevail, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think Aubrey's
I
going to
don't
come out
either.
on top, to be honest, just from an editing standpoint. So,
She's found two
Yeah,
idols and she
same.
can't keep either one of them. Now Rizzo has one, and also Rizzo. How many tribal councils is he going to go to with an idol in his pocket again and not
Hey,
play it?
respect to Rizzo. We can talk about the tribal councils, I guess, now. That's a good segue, but I'll say respect to Rizzo for not playing his idol. I mean, obviously, that was the thing he was infamous for all of 49. But this time, like, he actually got 3 votes. That's 1 vote away from going, and he held the idol.
Got balls of
Respect to
steel.
him for that. Yeah, exactly. The Riz God has balls of steel.
And I didn't mean to change what Isaiah was saying, but yeah,
It's fine. You can interrupt him.
they're fine. His opinion doesn't
no,
matter anymore.
I guess, no, we could talk about the tribal. I just feel bad. I know we kind of talked about Charlie before, but I feel so bad for Charlie, being robbed from winning 46. I think he should have won 46.
Me too.
I don't know
Me
if
too.
everybody here agrees. And then just coming back and then having, in a way, Maria be the reason why he loses Survivor twice, even though she's not
Yeah,
actually on the island, is very, very sad. And imagine, like, going into this, like, legendary season, being probably one of the best players on the cast. I don't think that's that crazy to say because I think he played one of the best, like, runner-up games. And then having your game end by some guy called the Riz God. Like, poor guy. And then going through
dude.
the
He
PTSD with Maria and whatnot. I know Maria has probably had the time of her life watching that episode. It just sucks to see that Charlie, I think he played very emotionally. Admittedly, I don't think Charlie played very well, to be honest, this time. I think he played way too emotionally, was caught up on the whole losing or not having your number one vote for your thing. I know Kai and I talked about this before. I don't see why they'd bring Charlie back, to be honest. Again, I feel like this showing is very disappointing. I hate to say that because I really like Charlie as a player, and I think he's a good player and deserved to win his first time, but I don't know.
I
I think
I
it was
could
too early.
absolutely, I could absolutely see. Well, yeah, I think obviously too early because we saw it on screen how much baggage he's still carrying from
Clearly
46.
hasn't healed yet.
But I think, for one, he was the on fire co-host. I think production and Jeff loves Charlie. I wouldn't be surprised to see him back, but I hope he gets a chance to take a break, to live a little, to get a little breathing room from everything Survivor related so that he can grow and get over a lot of the stuff or learn to live with a lot of the stuff that happened in his 2 seasons. And I can see a pretty solid 3 season arc from that, where first season he loses in the manner that he does. And then second season is defined by his PTSD from how he lost previously. And third season, 5 years later, he's okay. I know why I lost, but I've had a lot of time to grow. This is a new Charlie. I'm not letting all that baggage weigh me down. I could see a good story arc there. Whether or not that remains to be seen. Listen, consider that my bold prediction is that Charlie is going to come back after like 5 years,
No, you
and
have to
he's
make
going
a
to come back
bold
and
prediction for the next
He
episode
seemed.
when we do
Wait, what?
nothing. Don't worry about it.
He
We'll
seemed
get there.
pretty devastated in his final words. A head in the hands. I mean, I think he's someone that's going to take a loss really hard every time. I think he's just a hard player. So I mean, this season, not so much. He got very tunnel visioned on Rizo, and then he just kind of missed everything going on around him. Got outplayed really badly.
Yep.
It's unfortunate.
Oh, although, hey, one thing I do want to say this episode, because you said like, yeah, he got too tunnel visioned, and that made me think like, yeah, I guess technically he should have played a shot in the dark, which I will say, shot in the dark mentioned this episode, first time in season 50 we have heard the shot in the dark.
No, I think it's been mentioned before.
Has it been?
I think so.
Oh,
Has
that's
it
the first
been?
time I remember.
Very
I think
Canadian
I
of
think
you, Kyle.
Angelina talked about
I'm
it in an
sorry.
earlier
Oh, it's
episode.
okay.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Which I mean, good segue, Isaiah. You mentioned her name. We can talk about the other vote this episode,
Honestly,
Angelina.
that's the boring one, to be honest. There's not really much to talk about there. I think if anything, what we can talk about is the whole Ozzy, just Ozzy in general, I guess. I thought like seeing him first couple episodes, Ozzy was very promising. I was like, wow, this is a new Ozzy. Ozzy's here to play. He's playing strategically and whatnot. And I think he's going back into his old ways, being very
Yep.
emotional. The whole demanding for Christian to give him his shot in the dark to prove that he can be trusted. Christian did not take that too well, although I think that was the right move by Christian to actually give the shot in the dark to Ozzy to
Me
prove
too.
that,
Listen,
to solidify that
I
trust.
will push back a little bit. I don't think he's the same Ozzy. You can if you go back and you watch South Pacific,
He
that
has some
same scene that
old
was
Ozzy
He's
tendencies,
like
yeah, which
I
he
he's
think.
yeah,
was
he's the
very
same
upset about
guy
being left out of
older.
the vote, right?
He yeah, he knows his old mistakes. The thing is that he's trying to change this season. And I for one see it. Like I was just saying is that that scene that they were directly paying homage to with him on the beach with Cochrane, he was
Yep.
way more pissed in that scene than he ever was with Christian this episode. And I think his whole blow up, honestly, it seems like maybe there's stuff we didn't see, but he seemed relatively fine throughout all of it. He was obviously emotional, but relative to how pissed he could have been, I think this was fine. It stayed within the realm of the game. And admittedly, I think the other side, the like Christians and Emily's, like they went out there like mocking Ozzy, like, what is this idiot
Yep.
doing? They're talking about him like, and from what I saw, he didn't seem that bad. He seemed reasonably upset for being left out of the game, for being left out of the vote. And at the end of the day, their justification, well, we didn't want you to lie to Mike White. That's great, but it's still trust lost, which is what I will say, and why I disagree with Isaiah's sentiment that he's the same Ozzy, is that he always kept it, and he was always circling back to the idea that it was at the end of the day, it's trust lost. And that's something that I don't think Christian or Emily were really respecting about Ozzy this episode, is that that's what he kept echoing, is that it was trust lost because, yeah, you have a reason for why you left me out of this vote. And technically it was a good reason because Ozzy said he would have just gone to Mike. But at the end of the day, you still did it. And so that is still going to be trust lost. And
I mean,
that's kind of, I think I see that as growth from Ozzy.
he's at least self-aware enough to like say,
Yeah.
Christian, hey man, I'm sorry, I blew up, I got a little heated. We're cool. He's
Yeah,
not sitting there and
I don't
stewing on it
see
forever.
Micronesia Ozzy doing the same thing.
No,
I really
no,
don't.
no. A lot older now. He's a jungle
Did
man
he
now, not a
not?
jungle boy.
No, I was gonna say, did he not like apologize to Cochran? I think the thing is comparing the whole Cochran thing to like Christian. I feel like a lot of people didn't respect Cochran in South Pacific. I think that's also part of the reason why people weren't as nice and I guess forgiving, and like everybody just hated Cochran. I think Christian
Dude,
is a more
not not
respected
to
player.
not to dig into that like South Pacific merge vote, but like I said, I rewatched the season before 50, and that was a terrible play by Cochran. Like they would have only been drawing rocks with two people on their side, and the entire other side would have been drawing rocks, like 5-2. The chances that
Admittedly,
Cochran and his side are safe, I don't know. I see why they were upset. It was a terrible, terrible play.
yeah. We don't need to get too far into South Pacific, but I will at
Yeah,
least say in Cochran's defense, it was probably very likely lose-lose
for
regardless.
sure, for sure. Yeah. Also,
So
I can't stand Emily. I can't stand her.
he seemed like, I mean, the exit press from this episode, like Angelina is coming like fully in defense of Emily, and a lot of people have echoed the sentiment, which I think is partly based in everybody loves Christian, and since Emily is seemingly messing up Christian's game, there's a lot of hate heading towards Emily's way. And then Angelina in her exit press keeps saying Emily's the smartest person on the island, like she's the best. I don't get that vibe. I think that's just Angelina trying like overcorrecting. And admittedly, like the editing for women, it's been a big narrative so far in the last like
Dude,
week or two, is that the editing for the women this season has been
it's bad.
terrible.
It's really
Yeah.
bad.
Which, I mean, I'm curious because I mean, I've had this sentiment since the cast was revealed. I talked about this with Isaiah, and I'll get your thoughts now on it, Victor, that a lot of the men on this season were cast more as characters, and a lot of the women were more gamers. And I think the only real gamer guy out there was Charlie. And we saw Charlie, he almost got like the Sesternino and All Stars treatment. Like
Mm-hmm.
he stood out to me as a threat because he seemed like guess he was a guy who was more known as a gamer rather than a character.
Yep.
And I think that could be a factor in editing this season as well, in that a lot of the women, they're more known for their really good cutthroat or just really strong gameplay. They're not known as characters, so they're not as entertaining to get in confessionals. Whereas a lot of the guys who are cast more so for their sense of character than their good gameplay, they're a bit more, they're getting a lot more screen time, which I'm curious if that is more of a factor at play here.
It could be, but I mean, Angelina was a character too, and her edit was
It could
not
be
good.
also her this season. She seems like she's very subdued from her first season, which
Yep.
I think is very fair because she got so much hate in season
Yep.
37 that I
Yep.
could understand coming back and wanting to dial it back.
Do you guys follow like the Reddit, the Survivor Reddit? There's an
Vaguely,
account
Uh,
sometimes,
on
yeah.
there that posts like the
Occasionally look at it,
confessionals.
yeah.
Have you seen that?
Oh,
Seen
like the
what?
confessional counts?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Tiffany has had two this season.
yeah.
Zach
Zach
Brown
Brown
had twice
still,
as many as her in
Yeah,
one
yep.
episode.
Tiffany shouldn't be on the cast. I mean, I think that's what everybody saw her as the WTF pick when the
Yeah,
cast was revealed.
I'm
Not
fine
looking
to
good
have
for
her on the
her.
cast, but justify her being here. And that's not even, I'm not saying that to Tiffany and her gameplay. The editors need to justify to us why she's
Yeah.
on. And the fact that they cast her and then they cast her aside in the edit, what the hell? Like, come on, you're casting this person who already, from the public perception, is a questionable pick, and you're not even backing up your decision in the edit. Like, there have been a lot of questionable picks that have been justified. Like Kelly Wentworth, obviously she got voted in, but she was a really questionable pick for Cambodia.
Yeah.
Like, and but then she ended up delivering hard, and I'm just like, I at this point, I'm like, it sucks that somebody technically got their spot taken, if you want to say, by Tiffany. But I feel worse for Tiffany at this point because, like, she got brought back. This was in a way, her chance to prove herself since she was the what the fuck pick, and now she's getting completely shafted. Like that
Yeah.
just sucks.
I mean, Chrissy too, Dee, Kamila, like they all have really
Yeah,
bad edits, and I like all of them. Which
I,
so it's kind
yeah,
of a
go ahead.
shame.
No, I
Yeah,
think
go
I
ahead,
think the
sorry.
pro part of the problem too is that we have 24 people in 90
Yep.
minutes. You can only give so much screen time to certain people. And honestly, just seeing how the game has been played out so far, most people, well, no, not most people, but there is a select group of people that have literally been to every single tribal
Hmm.
council against except for one. So it makes sense that people like that are going to get all the screen time, and the people that you've mentioned just simply haven't really gone to tribal all that much. Maybe some of them did, in the most recent episode. So
No,
that
that's
could be why
valid.
too. Maybe the merge, which is coming up, we'll see something different. I know in the promo it seemed like Tiffany got a confessional uh in the merge
How about
I
episode.
that?
So
Do you guys have
we'll
like
see.
predictions for how that's going to go down? 17 people?
um, well, there's been like promos released, so my understanding is that my guess, and I think a lot of people are guessing this from what I've seen on Survivor Reddit, is that it's going to be a triple with three groups of five and two people go to exile.
Oh my God, that sounds. I
Yeah.
don't know if I like
Welcome to
that.
the merge.
Yeah,
Now going
it's
to three
bad
groups of
because
five.
why
I
would
don't.
you merge right away and then just
Honestly,
split into three groups? You might as well just have another tribe swap. Yeah, so
I mean, if they're
um,
going to merge at 17, I almost want to see like a really chaotic
That's
17 person
that is
vote just for the
bigger.
novelty of it. That would be insane. And
Yeah.
then they can do the whole split tribes new era thing that they always do, like final 16, two tribes of eight or something. But to split it into three groups of five into an exile is like they're really
I get they gotta get rid of people, but at this point, like, just have a 20-person cast. Come on.
yeah.
Like, don't rush it. Like, this is our first returnee season with 90-minute episodes. I want to have the breathing room, and we could have had that, but then they just decided to stuff it. Like, wow, this is our first returnee season with 90-minute episodes. Oh, but now we can have 24 people. Like, no, just give us 20 people so that we can actually get time with all of them.
I know we're
Uh,
criticizing it, but I'm still enjoying it.
oh,
It's
yeah, trust me. Like I said, I'm still enjoying the season a lot, but I think it's also because they have admittedly given a lot of breathing room to the start of the season. Like we had a
mhm,
3 hour premiere with only two people going home, and there was
yep.
only even one tribal council in that. But I'm more worried now that we're at 17 people left, and we have what we have what 8 or 9 episodes,
That's
I think,
it.
something like
next
that.
week
Because
is
we're
episode
episode six,
6.
and there's what
We have
13
7.
episodes.
There's always 13 episodes.
Wow. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
17 people. We have 7 episodes left. Like it's
Man.
gonna suck because I mean, my hope is that editing wise, they just do what they used to do, which is just a 2 hour episode that's just two rounds back to back. Like just two regular rounds. One day
Yep.
is it's day 23, and then day 24, they just do two rounds back to back. My fear is that is that they could be like my terrified fear is that we're barely going to get a merge at all, and they're going to be like at final maybe like they're going to do this triple, and then they're going to be at 14 people, and then we're going to get like the 14 and 13 votes as an actual proper merge, and then oh surprise, guess what? Final 12, two groups of six. Oh, surprise, final 10, two groups of five. Like at that point, we're not even merged. Like we're just
Yeah.
basically getting temporary tribe swaps for a single round just to shave down the cast size.
I'm over that whole splitting into two tribes after the merge. Like, I think it would be okay with such a huge merge like this. But like when there's 10 people and they do two groups of five, it's like, come on, man, let it play out. Like the
I'm
final nine vote especially is always interesting, and we lose that with two
Yeah,
tribes.
I'm fine to have those twists, but it loses all of its value when it's every single time. Like this is
Yep.
a thought that I've had for a while now is that the concept of a disaster tribe has become so commonplace in the 40s that it's lost all its value because now every season it's pretty much expected that one tribe's just gonna be the disaster tribe. Disaster tribes used to be a rarity. Same with the idea that a tribe or even just a couple people not going to tribal council until the merge because they just win. That used to be a rarity. And it made it so much more interesting and special when it happened. But we haven't been getting that because of the new era format where it's just locked in. And
Yep.
I think I think at the end of the day, that's fine if they want to do that, but just switch it up so that we're not seeing the same thing happen every single time. Because I'm still liking Survivor. Survivor is always going to hold a very large part of my heart, but it's getting repetitive, which 50 seasons it's going to, but the last 10 seasons being the exact same format is your problem.
Yeah, I mean, we needed 50 though. I mean, it was very needed. I'll say that. I mean,
Fingers crossed for the 50s, they turn out better.
yeah,
I would hope they. I mean, yeah, Kyle and I talked about this too. I would hope for the 50s. I can't imagine them just going back to the format that they had in the 40s. Like I feel like this is like a perfect opportunity to do like a reset or some type of big change, which honestly I've noted, well, in my opinion, I feel like with the latest New Era seasons, they're starting to go back and do things how they used to. Like
yeah,
49, we had two tribe swaps, we had two tribes at one point. I guess with season 50, even though it's kind of a dumb name, we have a title for the season. So hopefully we see the return of like themes and titles and more
One thing,
tribe swaps,
one
two
thing I will
tribes,
also say, and one
whatnot.
thing I'd like to see make a return is not merging so soon, because like I don't like having five people go home and then you merge.
yeah.
Like
I
it's the same thing in Big Brother, where jury starts at like the final 11 or something, because then a lot of those fluff players get to jury, and it feels so much less impactful when only like four or five people have to go home and then you get to jury. I like having the or the jury starts at final 9 of Big Brother, because then that's like the halfway point of the season. You're fucking working for jury. Making jury is an achievement in and of itself. You don't just have to coast through the first like 4 weeks of the season. And I want the same thing for Survivor, where the pre-merge should feel like its own game. That should be the first half of the game, not the first fifth.
yeah. I mean, I disagree a little bit. Like, I think 9 people for the jury is a little low, at least for Survivor. I think like 11. But you said you don't like 11. Like, I think 11
Well,
is
I
a
mean,
good
I no,
number,
that's just for
depending on
Big
the
Brother.
cast size too.
I'm fine to change it up. The really is realistically the main thing I'm really wanting to get across here is just the same concept I was talking about, is the repetition of it
Yeah,
all. Sometimes I'm fine. Give us an 11-person jury, but throw in a season where we only get like us an 8-person jury or something like that. Just give us that variation, because no Survivor season should be the same. It should be something new. You shouldn't know what's coming around the corner.
yeah,
Like if I had finally gotten cast on Survivor in season 48, I'm coming in with a pretty decent expectation that I only have to survive the first like 5 or 6 votes, and then I'm at the merge. And then it's going to be at the final 12 or the final 10 that we're going to be swapping into two groups. So I got to keep that in mind. Like there's just things that have become so predictable that, I mean, I'm sure the producers ask all the players to act shocked, but I feel like there's got to be a lot of them that are just absolutely expecting it every single time in these later seasons of the 40s.
for
Mhm.
sure.
Yeah, and also going back to like the disaster tribe thing, I think the reason why that also happens like pretty much every season is because they penalize the tribe that loses the first immunity challenge. I feel like that's kind of like bad game design. You kind of want for everybody to have a chance. If you just continue to
But the
penalize the
new era
person
I
is
that
mean,
so
loses,
tough, man.
like they lose
huh?
their flint, no fire, they can't eat. So now they have low energy for the next challenge, and it's just kind of like a
And they're just
self
never gonna bounce back.
repeating
Yeah,
cycle.
so I feel like they need to look into that.
This is a great discussion about episode 5, by the way.
Yeah,
We've just
I feel like we've been like bitching about
I
these
know
like
we're just talking about the future of
I'm loving.
Survivor.
Okay, Survivor 50 has been really good so far. I've loved it so far. Just I guess we had to get that out of our system.
yeah. Can
What
we?
else is there to talk about?
I
I'm
want to talk
actually,
about Rizzo. Just
yeah, this big episode for Rizzo.
what do you
Yeah.
guys think about him? Just
I
general
I
opinions.
think this was that he was definitely like the MVP of the
A
episode.
1000%.
And honestly, Rizzo doesn't annoy me as much. I feel like he annoys most people. I don't mind him all that much. And honestly, seeing the promo for like 49, him calling himself the Riz God, I thought he was gonna be like this super like cringe type of person or character. But no, I honestly think he's fine. Yeah, I think he could be a bit cocky sometimes. But no, I mean I
I
don't mind Rizzo. I actually enjoy Rizzo. So
I think. I would like him more if I was playing with him or interacting with him than I do with him as a TV character. I think he gets on my nerves a little more as a TV character because I think he projects so much of that Riz guy
Yep.
persona. Like he loves himself, which is fine. He's a very adept player at the end of the day. I respect him a lot for that. I think just as a character in the confessionals, he's a bit grating for me, but I think if I was actually on the island with him, we'd probably get along fine. We could be best friends for all I know. Like I think he'd be probably a lot more personable in person than he comes across to me. But even then, he doesn't bother me that much. Like he's a bit
Yep.
more grating to me than he is to Isaiah, but he doesn't bother me, and I can appreciate that he's a good player.
I love watching him play. He's a great player. He's great strategically. I mean, he'll take big swings. He's not afraid to do it. Just sometimes I'm like, all right, Rizzo, that's enough, buddy. Shut the hell up. Like I've heard enough.
That's Colby. That's Colby this
He's getting
season.
a little too cocky, but I do like him. I think he's a great player, and so far he's doing well. I mean, it's just I don't know. Sometimes I watch, I'm like, he can't keep getting away with it. Like I feel like he always gets his way. Like season 49, like everything kind of went his way. This vote, he got an idol just by existing, and then it went his way. I don't know. He's just got that charm, I guess, man.
hmm
I don't know
I
what to say.
think I think the situation's a bit different because the idol in 49 was public. I
Yep.
think only one person, or actually no, I think he told Cirie and D. So
Yeah.
it's a bit
Did he tell
different.
D that he had it, or did he just mention the
I
rules?
I think he did both.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, and also I think the players on 49 weren't as capable or competent. It is kind of crazy how like going into the merge, he was in minority, only a three-person alliance, what a merged tribe of 12, and
Yeah.
him and his alliance end up in the final four, and he'd stand up saying he's gonna play his idol, and then he never does it.
And
In
every time.
49, I will admit him doing that it's a bit much. He puts on the show and the theatrics for no reason. Like why did he have to get up, go to Jeff and be like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna play my idol," and then not play it? Like that's not necessary. And I don't think the jury was too um pleased with that either. I don't think they were impressed. I think if anything, they probably were annoyed. But I think I could see Rizzo going far, but I don't see him winning the game because this might be a stupid reason, but I feel like they're not going to want to vote for a Survivor 49 person to represent 50. Like I know that's a dumb
It's
reason.
valid.
I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. I feel like me being on
It's that
Survivor,
new
yeah,
you
this
want
great legendary season, and then like this unknown guy from
Right.
49 that we don't even know who, like,
Yeah, like
his
this,
game,
it's
no
just that
one.
it's a season that's supposed to be a celebration of all of Survivor, and then somebody that just joined the Survivor family last Tuesday comes in and wins. Like
Right.
it feels like a bit of insult is a strong word, but it gets across the sentiment that I kind of feel is that it feels like a bit of an insult to a big season like this. That somebody that just showed up and just joined in the community randomly shows up and wins this season.
I
But
mean,
I also feel like on top of what Isaiah said, he's like, this is probably, I think this is the oldest cast by average ever. And I don't see them rewarding someone so young with the win. I just feel like it's like there's just a lot of a less respect there, or it's at least harder to earn an older player's respect, especially this group of pretty established, good players. For him being a younger guy, it's going to be harder for him to earn that. And then on top of being from 49, like at the end of the day, what ends up actually happening on the island is going to matter way more than whatever labels you come in going or you go in with, because that's what actually people are going to pay attention to. And even if begrudging, maybe they would award him that, even if they didn't want to award a 49 player, even if they didn't want to award this young cocky kid. If he ended up playing the best game, a lot of people probably still would vote for him. But I think he does have those things working against him at least.
yeah. I mean, I think the cast would want the win to be satisfying, right? I mean, to them and the audience. He had no reputation among them coming in. Nobody knew who he is. So I think Isaiah's right. Like, I don't know if they would vote for Rizzo at the end. I mean, he's young, like you said, Kyle. Or did Isaiah say that? One of you said he's young.
I said that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kyle
And
said that.
yeah, I don't know. It's going to be an uphill battle for him. He might be an easy like boot too. Like, oh, we don't know him. Just get him out of here. He orchestrated the Charlie boot.
Yeah,
Like,
like he screams. I mean, I haven't gotten this vibe from him, but it's also just like difficult to get that vibe from him when it's a returnee season. So I have who they were in their previous seasons on my mind as well.
yep,
But if like generically, just thinking about it surface level, he's somebody that like I could see being like a cast aside player who is taken out in a double or a triple potentially. Like that's just like I could see him falling in that relative position where he is somebody that just feels like he could be cast aside, like he's not a main character, and that's you could honestly. I could, at least in reading the edit for a lot of the seasons in the 40s, kind of see what type of players were going to go where. Because a lot of the times they're edited quite similarly. Like when, what was it, the guy Ryan from season 43, I could have
yep.
told you 1,000 times out of 1,000 that he was going to go in the double boot in season 43 because that's just how he was edited. And I saw it coming from a mile away. Like there's just some people, but I don't know that I fully get that vibe from Rizzo, but just on the surface level, I could see him kind of being viewed in that light.
I actually disagree. I feel like if you would have asked me a couple episodes ago, I would have said like, yeah, I could see Rizzo going home early just because, he's the unknown or whatnot. But I think he's actually like insulated himself pretty well socially. He's has the alliance like with the women, and then like we know Cirie's connected with a lot of people. So I think he has a bit of an in with like, Christian, Devens, Emily, that group. So I honestly think he could go the distance, but I
Yeah,
don't think he's going to win, but I could see him having a lot more longevity than just being, voted out in like some double or something and just cast aside.
I'll give him
What
props. That was impressive. I mean, he was the only person on his tribe. Nobody knows him. He hasn't talked to any of them. No pre-gaming, nothing. And he instantly flips the vote on Charlie. Like, pulls in all the women on the tribe and gets it done. I mean, he's a solid
he's not a
player.
guy's guy. That's what he
He's not a
said.
guy's guy. All right,
I mean, like
and
neither did Charlie. Didn't seem like much of a guy's guy either. But
he's a
oh
Swift
well,
guy.
we did see him beat up Jonathan.
That's true.
But actually,
But
one thing I want to ask, I can't think off the top of my head, but I got really excited for half a second, thinking, wait, this is kind of like the first season in a long time where idols aren't necessarily completely public, so we could get like a really cool surprise idol play. And then I thought, wait, no, because a lot of the idols are kind of known by a few people, so eventually it's just gonna get out there. And I'm trying to think now who all knows about each idol. So Genevieve told everybody. I'm assuming everybody's going to know about Ozzy's idol. Excuse me. I think that's going to get out there just through flow of information because a lot of people know about that.
I mean, what Stephanie,
Um,
Colby,
I don't know about
Genevieve,
Aubry's idol. I think Christian's the only. Oh no,
No,
quite a few people
Devens.
know because
I think
Emily
it's
Emily
opened her
knows.
Rizo's
mouth,
too.
Emily tells everything to everyone, at
but
least from what we're
but
shown.
in that scene, I think she only told Q, and Q's gone unless that information got around
I
before
don't
he
think it
got
was
voted
just Q. I'm
out.
pretty sure like Stephanie was there too.
Oh, I don't know. I only remember Q because I think Q like he had a whole confessional about it.
Like
Um,
I think the most secretive idol right now is Rizzo's, but I don't know. I don't remember if Genevieve told anyone. Yeah, Genevieve did tell somebody. I think that she was sending it to Rizzo. I
Did she?
believe.
No,
I think she
I
Maybe
said
it
she
think
was
was
she
just
kept
keeping it
that
a
one a
Rihanna.
secret.
secret. She made it,
Yep.
yeah, she had
Okay.
a whole
Oh yeah.
confessional about it saying how like, oh, this one I'm gonna keep a secret. Um,
And then there goes Rizzo telling
but
Cirie and
Rizzo
D.
told
But
a
that
couple
is
people
technically the
anyway,
most
so
secretive idol right now is Rizzo's idol, the guy who flaunted an idol the entire last season. So maybe it's not going to stay a secret for long.
Is he
We'll
gonna do it
see.
again? Is he gonna get away with it and just
I
go
gotta
all
be
the way to
honest.
the end
I do
again?
not. I have no interest in an entire new season of him doing the exact same thing. We just saw that like what 3 months ago.
Yeah. And I think these players are capable of strategizing around that and
mhm.
flushing it. Unlike the 49ers, that was ridiculous. But yeah, yeah. What do you guys think about Stephanie this season?
Me,
She's just there.
I've come around.
She
I've
is
come
just
around
there.
on her. I start off. She's on my draft team, and so
Oh,
she started off fine, but very generic to me. Like I said that if she had just been cast on like any of the random 40s seasons as a newbie, I would have just been like, this is just another random brunette white woman. I can't tell any of them apart, and it's going to take me like 5 or 6 episodes to actually know who each one is. And that's how she would have been. On this season, she still gave that vibe, but obviously, like, I know who Stephanie is. But these last couple episodes, I have come around on her. I think she is working her way into a better position, and I'm enjoying Stephanie at least so far now. I think she's come into her own.
I've never been like a huge Stephanie fan. I just don't think she's like very compelling to watch on TV. But I mean, she's played decently so far. I'll give her that. I mean,
I think she's
she
being
was the
pretty
only one left out
passive.
of the Q vote, and she, boom, is in on the Mike Blindside, is in the vote with Ozzy, Christian, Angelina, not Angelina, Emily to vote Angelina out. I mean, she was firmly on the bottom, and she flipped it around over the course of what, a
Yep.
day.
Yeah,
Yeah, which I mean,
I'm,
part you could argue that she's just passive and that she's just a passenger being picked up by other
That's
people. But
true
at the end of the day, that's social game too. Like she can
for
claim at
sure.
least that in the equation.
I mean,
mhm.
yeah, maybe it's like she was an obvious choice, so they don't. She's too obvious, like let's scoop her up, let's make a
Yeah.
move, right?
Which I will ask this since we're on the topic of that general grouping of people. Christian has been like the main character of this season. I'm
Yeah,
curious what your thoughts are on him because it seems like people are hating Emily because she's messing up Christian's game and it's all Christian's the best, Christian's the best. My opinion is that I think Christian is overdoing it. And I don't get the vibe that he's getting a winner's edit. He's getting a great edit, but he's not getting a winner's edit. I think he's more for the flame out era where he's getting his flowers, everyone's going to love him, he's this super charming guy, but he's doing too much and it's going to bite him in the ass.
yeah, maybe a hot take, but I don't think Christian can win Survivor just in general.
I think he's too likable for it. I agree with that.
I
I
I
mean,
think
he
he's
could win, but
I
but by my own
love.
metric of like the 100 seasons played or randomized, how many times does he win?
Yep.
I
I
think he
mean,
probably does very well. He probably consistently does very well, but he probably wins very few times.
yeah, I mean he's a great player strategically, socially, but I think he overplays, man. Or I don't know, he's
He's
just
Devens.
too.
I think Devens is a worse version of him. Just in terms of like
Yeah,
because Devens is there for the fun, for the entertainment. He'll do things that an average player would see and say, no, that's stupid, that's doing too much. But Devens is there for the fun factor and for the game. So I think Christian is kind of a lesser version of that. He's a bit more toned down than Devens.
by the way, I love Christian, but yeah, I think he's just like he puts himself like in the spotlight too easily, I guess. I think he's just too charming, too smart. I don't know. He's not. I don't think he's going to win. And I don't dislike Emily because she's blowing him up. I just think she's frustrating to watch as a whole. I get very
Yeah.
annoyed watching Emily like very easily for some reason. I don't know what it is, but
I think she's
yeah,
just frustrating to see. And like, I could imagine working with Emily and just being like, God damn it, stop telling all my
yeah.
secrets to other people. Because like, I put myself in the shoes of the players when I watch Survivor and say, this is what I would do there. This is what I would do there, as I'm sure a lot of players do. Or as I'm sure a lot of people do, I should say. But yeah, Emily just seems frustrating. At least I think the problem for me is that it's shown to be emotional. It's not shown to be like I'm playing this off as emotional, but it's actually good gameplay. I'm being smart about this. It's just shown as emotional and a bit of like she's just not thinking things through all the time. And like, I mean, I think like she had that story of growth in 45, and at the end of the day, 45 was not that long ago. So I think she's a good player. I think she's come into her own, but at the end of the day, she just is gonna have some flaws, which not like
Yep.
every player on this season has their flaws, but I think hers, just as far as the edit has shown, have been more glaring. But I will say one thing, not about Emily, but about Christian, is that since we've had so long since a returnee season, there's very much the trouble of all of these players are a lot of these players are one-time players coming in with the idea that this could be the season that they cement their legacy and they become a legend because a lot of legends are multiple time players that may have like a pre-merge placement, but they've had two or one really strong performance that
Right.
makes them a legend. And I do think of the entire cast so far, Christian is the person that is cementing himself as a legend. Regardless, if he goes next week, I think he's still probably cemented as a legend.
I mean, he's great TV. He's a great player. It's just I think
Absolutely, yeah.
I love Christian. He's one of my favorites in this cast. It's just he puts himself too above the radar, man.
I don't think it's
Oh,
intentional though. That's just
mm-mm.
I think
Yeah,
that's
the
just
way he
it's
him
just
being
how he
is.
him.
plays.
And he can't hide. I said this like during the premiere, but I think Christian's in trouble based on the pure fact that he can't hide how likable he is.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, are you guys Christian fans or?
I love
Mhm.
Christian. Like he's probably one of the most charming, likable players to ever play the game. I would spend hours just rambling about Survivor with Christian. I would love working with Christian, but I wouldn't want to go to the end with Christian ever. But I
Oh no.
absolutely love Christian. He's
I,
probably like top five players as far as likability for me on this cast, if not just in Survivor overall.
yeah. Agreed.
Beyond that,
Agreed.
I'm actually troubling to think. I mean, what about camp life scenes? I mean, we got okay, Coach. I know we
Coach.
talked about Coach, but with
Yeah.
his nicknames, I loved the nicknames. Like it was fun. Beyond that, I'm trying to think if there's anything else we can actually go over before we
No,
run through.
Isaiah, come
Uh,
up with something right now.
I don't think there is. I think we covered just about
we
everything, to be
covered
honest.
just about everything, which means we go to a really fun part of this.
Oh, the draft.
We do have
Oh,
the draft,
okay.
which we
So
have to go over.
I
So
haven't
I'm going to
watched.
send you, listen, Victor, you do have a draft team.
I know.
Congratulations.
I'm aware of this. So I haven't watched any of the podcast episodes except for the draft that you guys did. I watched that one all the way through for some reason.
Oh, fantastic.
But
Good. So you're familiar.
let
Well,
me.
I'll
Yeah,
send you you have Stallings' draft team. That's the people's team. That's the voice of the
see what you
people.
got
Mike
here.
Stallings is the voice of the people. So I just sent you that. So you have your team. So okay, well, I guess actually I should get rid of Charlie on this team, but
I mean, I think this is a really solid draft team from
I think
Stallings
so
here.
too. I think Stallings
yeah.
has the best team, to be honest.
That's wow. I mean, he's got Joe. I think Joe is locked to go far. Cirie will probably go far. He's got Christian, Devens, Emily, Chrissy. It's a really
Yeah.
good group.
You've only lost two people. You lost I think you lost Q, you've lost Q and you lost Charlie just now. I think you're the only person that so technically
Is
Isaiah and I we're going into merge with what I think Isaiah has
oh,
six people. I have five people.
is Q
Yeah. Q
on this
was, but
one?
I'd get rid of people as they're so
Okay,
you don't have
okay,
the full list. But you
got it, got
watched
it.
the draft, so you know everybody.
Yeah, I remember every single person that you guys chose. Like every
Exactly.
person.
Fantastic. But
Just
to
kidding.
go over the draft teams and the updated draft scores. So, Victor, the way that we do our draft teams here
He
is
knows.
that
He
for
said he
every
watched the whole
I
thing.
did watch it, but refresh me a little bit. All right,
what, so you
come
don't
on.
remember? Are you implying that?
It's something. It's a very weird point system you guys had.
I think
It's
it's
like
actually pretty simple. Basically, is that for every placement somebody gets, they get an amount of points equivalent to that. So
okay, okay,
Savannah, who got 22nd place, earned 3 points because she was the third person
third
out
to
of the game.
got
Same
it.
thing for Q, earns 4 points, Mike five, and then for this episode, Angelina earns 6 points, and Charlie earned 7 points. But the other thing for our draft is that every vote casted against a player is -1 point on that play against that player or
Interesting.
against that draft team. So
Okay,
the current standings is that Angelina got 19th place. That's +6 points for Isaiah, but -4 points for because she got 4 votes cast against her for an overall score of +2. That's pretty good. And I lose a point because Stephanie got a vote at that tribal council as well. For this is a much more unfortunate one for Isaiah here, is that Charlie, his winner pick, who Isaiah did not draft, that was Stallings that drafted him. He stole him from Isaiah. Charlie gets 18th place, +7 points, and -4 for an overall score of +3. However, unfortunate for Isaiah, Isaiah drafted Rizo, who also got 3 votes cast against him, meaning Isaiah, despite earning points this episode, actually goes down in overall score. He goes down to -10. Stallings, I believe, actually, yeah, Stallings earns 3 points. He's up to -1.
he's
And
up to negative
me,
one.
Yeah, yeah, he's up to he was
He's
at
up.
-4. He's now at -1. And me, the most genius player in this draft, I'm at an absolutely amazing score of absolute 0. I
Zero.
was at +1. I'm now at 0. So I'm
So
just having the best time.
was it a valid strategy, do you think, to just choose players you think are going to go out early so you don't get a bunch of
Well,
negative
okay,
points?
here's
We
my
did kind of
thinking.
talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah, here's my thinking. On paper it looks good now, but you got to think that the absolute worst thing you can have is players that go in the early merge. That's the
Yeah.
biggest bad thing you can have because that's a lesser amount of points that you're getting with the maximum amount of votes that
Yeah.
someone can have casted against them.
Especially if it's
So
unanimous.
yeah, so what you really want is you want all the end gamers because they're getting a minimal amount of votes and they're getting a lot of points. So
Yeah.
yes, I have lost quite a few people and technically I am in the lead right now, but I think Isaiah and I are tied, but I have not that many people necessarily that can go far. So Stallings, I would say, is very much so in the best position because he has
It's
one
a
extra
very
person to earn
solid pick.
points. It's just a matter, realistically, we're going to know a lot more about how this draft is going to turn out, which is not a very serious draft, but I am winning, so it's amazing. But we're going to know a lot more about this draft and how it's actually going to turn out points wise once we get through the early merge votes, which is going to be very nail biting for everybody.
Yeah. Kyle said the draft is stupid, but I'm winning, so it's actually great. He goes down 1 point.
Exactly.
Oh, it's terrible.
Until it's not. Until
Stupid.
Isaiah takes the lead, it's a great draft.
That's
It's
right.
amazing. Which Isaiah currently is a little ways off from taking the lead. He's at -10.
Hey, listen, I'm getting all of the negative players out of the way. Like,
Isaiah, not
watch.
It's
even
just a
like
comeback story for
the
Isaiah. He'll be
only
back.
the only reason you lost points today is because someone that didn't go home got votes.
No, the thing is too is like Jenna, getting Jenna, that really messed me up
Oh, you picked
because
Jenna. Let
she
me
was
look at the.
first boot and she went home unanimously, 7 votes.
I was okay with
Yeah.
that, honestly. I think she came in too hot, buddy.
I
Way
enjoyed her
too
for the
hot.
one episode, but I was fine. Like I don't think she was gonna be necessarily engaging TV. Sorry, did I cut out?
Yeah.
No.
No, you're good.
Okay. Yeah, I was okay. I was just saying, yeah, Jenna, I was fine to lose her, honestly. Like she didn't seem like she was gonna be great TV, but it's nice to have a season 1 player back. But now that we're done with the draft, we move on to the time-honored
Actually,
Conquest
wait,
tradition.
before
Wait,
before
what
we
do
do
we?
Oh,
that, I'm gonna ask Victor a question.
Oh
Who
boy.
did you have a preseason winner pick?
I I didn't like formally pick anybody. I guess in my mind, I'm like, I hope it's Charlie, and he's gone. I
All right,
Who
wanted
so
would you say
so
Charlie.
now?
looking
Who would you
at
predict
who
now
would you predict
then?
now? Yeah, that's
Now,
exactly what I was gonna ask.
man, that's a tough one, dude. Ugh. Okay, can I choose two people?
Sure.
All right, maybe a hot take. I'm going to say Aubry. I don't know, just to be dangerous with it.
There's something funky about her
I
edit
don't
that
know.
makes
It's
me
like
not
it's
want
like
to
going up.
call her
It's
out.
like it's
Yeah.
like it's like looking a little better like than it was. But is Coach a crazy take?
I don't I If you would have asked me after episode 2 or 3, I would have said probably yeah, because he doesn't actually seem that different.
I
After this episode, I'm a bit more back on the coach train.
I think
I
he's a
don't think he's
contender,
gonna
man.
win, but I
You-
I love coach and I would not be mad at it.
Okay, well there you go. There's my two picks. I would
It
love it if
couldn't be
Coach
more
won.
different. Aubrey, because I mean, they did have a scene today, though. So,
Yeah, I know,
which
I
I guess
know.
that is actually one thing. We did not talk about that, but Aubrey and Coach, I feel like that's. I feel like that Aubrey could be the Sophie to Coach this season. Is really what
I
I see. Like
don't.
she could be using. I think she's probably going to be like more on the I'm using Coach. I'm not. I don't. I'm not actually drinking this honor and integrity Kool-Aid the way everyone else is, the way that Joe is. I
I
really
can
feel
see
like,
that.
yeah, I could see Aubrey being shed in that light, which is
I just
very good for her winning potential. If fuck, what's her name, Sophie is any indication.
I wouldn't be super satisfied with an Aubrey win. I would love it if Coach won, but I don't know. Like I don't know why. I just
Yeah,
it's
I agree. It doesn't feel satisfying, but just because, like, she's just not somebody that I was overly excited. Like, she's done worse every single time she's played. I did not need to see her a fourth time, and that's really what it comes down to for me.
yeah. I think Coach is a solid pick though. Oddly enough,
He's
we
not
shall
been doing
see.
bad.
What do you guys think? Like, did you guys make
Technically,
picks.
Charlie was Isaiah's winner pick.
Yeah.
Mine is still in. Mine's Genevieve, Canadian Queen. Technically,
Okay.
both Canadians
That would
still
be.
in.
I love Genevieve. I think it would be great if she won.
Yeah, I would feel a little bad because it is someone that basically just played coming in. But as
You
far as
know what, man?
I still like Genevieve. So I'm still on the Genevieve train. Until she gets voted out. If she gets voted out, I'm on the Genevieve train. I don't know who Isaiah's thinking now, but whoever he picks is an unofficial
I
pick
have
because
no
his
idea, to
actual
be
winner pick is voted
honest.
out.
Like, I could see a case for a lot of them, which, like, I
Definitely.
feel like at this point you just kind of poke around. Like, you know what? I'll pick you. I'll pick you. I don't know.
Definitely. So I think that's about all we can say. So now, without any more interruptions, Isaiah, now on to the time-honored Conquest tradition. As I'm losing light, it's gonna be pitch black in here before
Oh,
we finish this podcast. So I gotta do this quickly. So we gotta do one big, beautiful, bold prediction for next episode, and then we're gonna do one basic, stupid, awful, stupid, basic prediction. So we each do one. Victor, you of course would have done this back when you did the podcast. I don't know what you picked for that, but
did
you
I do
technically would
that?
have
I
done it.
don't remember doing that.
Well, you would have done it. It
I
probably
would have done
lagged,
it
so
if
we didn't hear you.
hypothetically, if I was on an unaired episode, I would have done it.
Yeah.
Okay. Big prediction.
Big prediction. This is just for frame of reference. Big prediction. I predicted previously that Christian was going to assault Rick Devens, and
Okay.
that was my bold prediction for one
I see
episode.
where we're going here.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Um, now I have to like be
Isaiah's
like
one of
super
Isaiah's
funny
previous
and witty,
prediction.
right? Like,
Isaiah's previous prediction was that Ozzy and Coach were going to get in a physical fight on the mat.
ooh, yeah, maybe they'll just make love to each other on the mat. How about that one? You know, there's a lot of tension
We
between
are
the
getting
two
a
of them.
reunion next episode. Ozzy and Coach
That's what I'm
back in
saying.
together.
They're just playing it up. There's a lot of tension. It's not the tension you're thinking of, buddy. Maybe it's a little something else.
Oh boy.
There you
All
go.
right, so let's hear it. Let's hear this bold prediction and this basic prediction.
I think that was the bold prediction.
That was the bold one.
Oh,
You know
that was
what?
it. I thought that was just a joke. Honestly, okay, I'm on board. I want to see that.
I'll do that.
Well,
That's my
actually,
bold
for
one.
Coach's sake, I don't want to see that because I don't want Coach to get herpes.
Dude, I forgot that Ozzy was like on OnlyFans for a while, wasn't he?
And he
Mhm.
probably still is for all we know.
Yeah.
Old,
Okay.
wrinkly, 40-year-old Ozzy.
And for the basic one, is it like
What
What
you
do you
think is
actually think is going to
realistically going to
happen?
happen next episode?
I think I think it's gonna be a really like straightforward vote. I can see it being unanimous and everybody just kind of piling on one person. I I think like maybe D or somebody could just be seen as an easy vote and it's done.
Okay.
You know?
Now, I have mine. I just thought of this. Here's my bold prediction. We're going to get to the mat. It's going to be the merge challenge. And surprise, what does Jeff pull out? The hourglass.
Oh
Dun dun
God.
dun. But
Dude,
then
don't.
what does Jeff do in seeing the groaning, moaning in all the players' eyes in this 17-person merge? He's going to say, "Ha, nah, you guys thought." And then he himself chucks it on the ground and then it smashes. And that's it. That's my bold prediction. The hourglass is coming back just to say, look how stupid this is. And then he's gonna fucking throw it. That's
There you
my
go.
bold prediction. And it's gonna be beautiful. Can you turn the light up, please? Yes. I have a girlfriend and she's turning the light up.
Pretty please.
Oh my
Okay.
goodness. Oh, it's hot now. Jesus Christ.
Oh my
So I
God.
guess it's my turn.
No, I haven't
So,
given my basic prediction.
I thought you already gave your
Jeez.
basic one. Okay, go
My
ahead.
basic prediction, I'm gonna say we know what the challenge is. It's gonna be that challenge from the one that Coach K. I will say this quick side note. So excited to see Coach do this challenge again. Victor, I don't know if you know, but it's the challenge from the final five of Token Machines
Great
where he,
challenge. And
yeah,
the way he like had a little meltdown afterwards. My bag's blown out.
yeah. So excited. If I could make another prediction, I would say, or if I could make a hopeful wish, I would say I want Coach to win that. For every fiber of my being wants Coach to win that challenge. That being said, I'm going to make a prediction on one of the immunity winners. I'm going to say, Tiffany is going to win that challenge.
Wow.
That's going to be my prediction.
And she'll
That
get
honestly might be
one
pretty bold.
confessional
He
next
might not
episode.
even get a confessional.
Okay, so my realistic prediction, I'm surprised nobody said this. We kind of mentioned this earlier. They're going to split into three groups of five. one individual immunity winner per group. Two people get sent to exile. I'm just gonna say Rizzo and Ozzy because in the shot in the
because we know
preview where
that.
we saw 15 people, those
Oh,
guys were
do we know
missing.
that?
It's
Huh?
heavily speculated that it's going to be Rizzo and Ozzy.
Yeah,
Is it?
so
Dude, I haven't watched. I mean, okay, okay,
yeah, so that's my
hey,
like regular prediction. My bold prediction though, this is pretty bold. So the preview's really hyping up, I guess, for that to be the major twist, but I don't think that's like the real big twist that we're gonna get. The real big twist that we're gonna get is we're gonna get our second celebrity cameo.
I
No,
think
Billie
isn't
Eilish does not count because she
Jimmy
doesn't have.
Fallon.
I think Jimmy Fallon is already rumored for next episode. I
Is he
think.
Oh,
okay? See, they
really?
said his
Oh,
name
I
well,
think so.
my
in the
bold
trailer
prediction
for
was going to
50.
be a boat is going to pull up and we're going to see Jimmy Fallon show up.
Okay. You know what? It might be bold to say that he actually shows up. I'll
Okay,
give
well,
you
that's
that.
okay. So, yeah, so that's my bold prediction. And then right then and there, he's going to introduce some crazy new twist to the game. I don't know what that will
Oh
be,
no!
but
I mean, Christian said in the preview for 50, "Oh my God, you might decide my fate in this game." So what
Okay.
is it? Huh?
yeah.
All right. Well, we have made our predictions. That's fucking amazing. I predict that the hourglass is coming back and it's going to get smashed with absolutely no effect. Isaiah's predicting that Jimmy Fallon is going to show up, physically show up and be there and introduce an unexpected twist that we're not expecting. And Victor, you're predicting
The boldest
that
one, I would
Ozzy and
argue.
Coach are going to make love.
That's right.
This
That's
is
right.
this is going to be an exciting episode if all our predictions come true. This is going to have some highs. It's going to have some lows with the hourglass, but hopefully it's going to get smashed and nothing's going to happen.
Oh yeah.
I think that about covers it. So Victor, thank you so much for showing
Yep.
up a second
Is
time.
this one gonna
This
get
time,
uploaded?
hopefully, it actually gets
Yes,
uploaded.
it will.
We'll see.
It will.
Fingers crossed.
We need to like share it everywhere so we can get the views up. All right.
Yeah, you're
We
gonna
we
have
did
to
it a
go.
day
I know
late,
you
so we're
live.
already behind. Like we need to
Do
get the
you live
views
in a
up.
Do you live in an apartment building?
I do. Should I just knock
Okay,
on
you're gonna need
everyone's
to go
door?
door to door. Say, hey, can you watch this, please? Can you subscribe to Survivor
Can you just
Conquest?
like tap in the video? Just give it a
Yeah.
watch, subscribe,
Just
like.
like you don't even need to watch it. Just like turn the volume down, play it while you sleep repeatedly.
Yep.
Boost those views.
You guys need the stats to show that people are watching all the way through so that it recommends it to more
Yeah,
people,
we need
right?
the good analytics.
That's
Yeah,
good.
I mean, last episode didn't do bad. We had like 60 something views and watch time was like 7 or 8 hours. I don't think that's that bad, to
Really?
be honest. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
Okay, that's pretty good. Well, did you guys upload that one like day of?
yeah.
Yeah, it's
Usually I
uploaded
Okay.
like
upload it
we
like
usually
right when
try
we're
and
done.
record.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
we
we're
try
already
and record
behind, man. We
afterwards.
we gotta we gotta get the views up.
Yep. All right. Thanks for
Yep.
watching the Survivor Conquest podcast. See you guys again next week.